Variations are one of the most common causes of disputes in construction. On almost every project, something changes. The design changes, the scope changes, the specification changes, site conditions are different from expected, or the client simply wants something added, omitted, or altered. For quantity surveyors, managing variations properly is one of the most important parts of the job, because if variations are not identified, recorded, valued, and agreed correctly, they can quickly turn into arguments over money, time, and responsibility. So what is a variation? A variation is a change to the original scope of works under the contract. This can include adding new work, omitting work, changing the quality or specification, changing drawings or details, changing the sequence of work, or changing access, timing, or working conditions. The key point is this. If the contractor is being asked to do something differently from what was originally agreed, it may be a variation. But whether this is valid and how it should be valued depends on the contract. Step 1. Check the contract. Before doing anything, the QS should check the contract. Different contracts deal with variations differently. Under JCT, you may be looking for an instruction from the contract administrator or employer's agent. And under NEC, the change may be dealt with as a compensation event. The QS needs to understand who has authority to instruct a change, how the instruction must be given, when notices must be submitted, how the variation should be valued, and whether the change also affects time. A common mistake is treating every site request as a valid variation. It might be commercially sensible to proceed, but contractually, you need to protect your position. Step 2. Get the instruction in writing. One of the biggest causes of disputes is verbal instructions. Someone on site may say, "Can you just do this for me?" And the contractor does it. Then later, everyone argues about whether it was instructed, whether it was included, and how much it should cost. To avoid this, always try to get the instruction in writing. This could be a formal contract instruction, an email confirmation, a marked up drawing, a site instruction, or a change control notice. If the instruction is verbal, confirm it in writing as soon as you possibly can. Step 3. Keep proper records. Good records are the QS's best defense. For every variation, you should capture what changed, when it changed, who instructed it, why it changed, labour, plant and material records, subcontractor quotations, photographs where possible, drawing revisions, and programme impact. Without records, even a valid variation can become very difficult to prove. And step 4. Value the variation properly. The valuation should follow the contract rules. This may involve using contract rates where applicable, building up new rates where no suitable rate exists, assessing labour, plant and materials, including preliminaries where appropriate, and considering overhead and profit. You should assess time-related costs separately if applicable. The aim is not just to submit a number. The aim is to submit a clear, logical and supportable assessment. Variations do not have to become disputes. Most disputes happen because changes are poorly instructed, poorly recorded, or poorly valued. For QSs, the key principles are simple. Understand the contract. Get instructions in writing. Keep strong records. Submit valuations clearly. Deal with time and money separately. And communicate early. A well-managed variation process protects the contractor, supports the client, and helps keep the project commercially under control. Because in construction, change is inevitable, but disputes are not. Metroun, a commercial hub for your business.